Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy MMA Propaholic, and I am with my guest, Mushroom MMA Philly, and we are going to be breaking down UFC Charlotte. And sorry for the delay, guys. My computer is currently just delayed as hell, so I'm not using my headset right now. I'm currently just using the camera on a laptop. So if my audio is trash, I'm sorry about it. Just I'll have it fixed next time. I'm getting a new computer after this stream. But Mushroom, you excited for this card this weekend?
Absolutely. Not as excited as I was for the last card. I couldn't wait for that one, especially since we were in attendance. Um,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me out there. It was great. I had a great time. Seeing it live, they get you fucking hyped up too, man, with the fucking bass and the music and the announcers. Like, it's a fucking good time. I'm going to do it again, especially,
Oh,
I can't wait for them to come to Philly.
yeah, they're actually going to Boston for UFC 290. So once they go to Boston, I'm definitely down.
That's close enough for you, right? Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We can get straight into it if you want.
Yeah. How do you feel about this card?
I really like it from a fan perspective. Like from a betting perspective, it's a little hard, but I mean, I'm always looking forward to fights, man. I'm always hyped to watch some fights.
Me
We
too.
got we got Alex in the chat taking notes, and then we got you Mushroom saying what's up, brother.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we got Alex dropping the mushroom emojis.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. We could start though with the first fight of the night. We got Jessica Rose Clark versus Tanira Lisboa. And Mushroom, if you want to start off, you can start off.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. So, like you said, Jessica Rose Clark, she's a striker. She's again women's MMA, man. Here the fuck we go to start off the night. Look, she's kind of well rounded, and she's a decent kickboxer. She's strong. She can wrestle. She's a decent grappler, I'd say. Now I know she has this 50% takedown accuracy, but there's a big asterisk next to that because I think that's mostly in one fight against like Jocelyn Edwards or something like that. Half of those were from that or something. But look, when she gets you down, she has decent top control. She's got good cardio. She's durable. And in this spot, she has, more MMA experience and especially more UFC experience. God, her last two losses, though, by sub, uh, she's not good against. I noticed one thing, man. If any girl knows how to do a fucking judo toss, you can get her to the fucking ground. And Rose Clark's not the best now. At the repaired knee, arm bar injuries. I mean, I see a lot of red flags on that side. But when I go to the other side of this fight, with Lisboa, I know she's making her UFC debut. She's an okay striker. She's got good clinch knees. I noticed in the clinch. That bully cage work that she does. She's athletic, long legs. She's decent at range too. She's pretty decent at range. Again, if she'll get you on the ground at all, she has good top control, good ground and pound. She can get subs. She has subs on the record. She has 100% finish rate. But man, she also has a poor takedown defense, and her level of competition, obviously compared to who Rose Clark has fought in her career. I mean, not only Rose Clark has this stellar schedule, but just the amount of UFC experience. The women she fought, I think, are way better competition than anybody that Lisboa has fought. She's a can crusher, and in my opinion, this is definitely a step up. Now, obviously, I guess the UFC sees something in her that they're willing to bring her up, and they don't give her the toughest opponent because we all know Jessica Rose Clark isn't the toughest out. Um, but I'm still going to go on the side of the MMA and UFC experience. I'm going to go with Rose Clark. I'm going to give her that play out a lot. That I give a lot that third round / decision play. I kind of the spot. How do you feel?
Yeah, I don't really have a huge read here. I mean, I've been like burned with women's MMA. What's good, Rob? Um, Especially recently. I mean, I had Pudilova. That I mean, I thought she won. I had Waterson Gomez. Thought she won. And you were there when I had Marina Rodriguez. My read just wasn't on point. I mean, Jana Roba.
I have her as well.
Yeah, she looked great, Jenny Roba. But I really do like Liz Boza's striking. I mean, she's here for a reason. Her Muay Thai, I mean, she's been doing Muay Thai, I think, for about like 13 years now. And she's now 30, I think she's 32 years old. So she's been fighting since she's a teenager. So she's been kind of like involved in fighting for about 16 years of her career now. And like on the other side, with Jessica Rose Clark, like yeah, she got armbarred in her last 2 fights, but that's Edgar and Stolyarenko. Like Lisboa doesn't have the ground game in those two ladies, but like her last fight that she actually won, she used the wrestling, which she never did before that, and she lost to Pandy Kanzard on the feet, and I rate Pandy Kanzard like a better grappler than I do of a striker. I don't really like her striking at all. And because especially, I mean, who was that? I think it was Lena Landsberg who cut her open bad. I think it was like at the end of the second round in that fight too, which did concern me looking at Pandy Kanzard. So yeah, this fight, I think Lisboa is live for a knockout. She definitely throws a lot of head kicks. She leads up with all her strikes. She hits pretty hard. And we got Rose Clark, who used to be, I think she was a flyweight, and now she's coming up to bantamweight. And Lisboa was a featherweight, and now she's coming down to bantamweight. So Lisboa's going to have the power here, and the line is flipped. I mean, pre-tape, I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm going to hammer Jessica Rose Clark in -141. Who the hell is this Lisboa girl? Because I'm looking at her Tapology, and she's beaten nobody. It's like she beat someone 0-0, then 0-0, 0-0 again, and then 1-4. So she really hasn't faced the best competition in MMA wise, but this girl has skill, and I think she's going to show it this weekend. And I'm going to pick Lisboa to win by decision. I might. I mean, I don't know. I might see what the unanimous decision prop is on her. I mean,
Wow.
maybe if it's over +400. I just don't see Rose Clark really getting takedowns. I feel like Lisboa's game is like probably improved at this point. I mean, the last time we seen her submitted was Norman Dumont. And like, I mean, we see Norman Dumont kind of evolve her game in the wrestling recently. So yeah, I mean, Lisboa is definitely live here, but I wouldn't bet her as a favorite. I'm definitely staying away from this fight on a betting perspective, on a money line perspective.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not putting any money on this. I every fight some way, like some sort of parlay or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as like a straight bet, I don't really have too much confidence on either side. But I just want to mention something. I think I took a look at. I think 23 out of 26 fighters on this card are either 30 years or older. So this is like there's a lot of old people on this card, and some that have a lot of MMA experience, and even some that are old that don't have much. So there's a mixture here, and I think there's going to be some good spots up the card.
Yeah, definitely, and especially this next fight, I actually have a bet on it. We got Gabe Green versus Brian Battle, and yeah, I'll start us off. I bet Gabe Green at -115 for 0.70 units. Take the striking defense of Brian Battle. It's sitting at 40%. The Tresean Gore fight, Tresean Gore only three mixed martial art fights in. Just saying he was a standout at the fighter house. I mean, I didn't really think so. I don't really rate like those fighter like house fights, like actually like when I'm into capping. So I don't really see Tresean Gore. Like I think he's gonna get killed by Bo Nickel, obviously. But just looking at like Brian Battle, yeah, he likes to be at range. He knocked out Sato with a nasty head kick. He does kind of go for takedowns, but he's only 2 of 10 on his takedowns at the UFC level. And kind of taking the Fakhretdinov fight out, but Brian Battle did show a lot of toughness. I mean, this guy was getting his ass kicked, just kept kind of getting up, and Fakhretdinov just kept controlling him and beating him up. But that's not really what Gabe Green does. He's not going to try to wrestle fuck Brian Battle here. He's just going to walk forward and he's going to use his heavy hands just like he did in the Rodriguez fight. And I mean, his last fight with Ian Gary, it was 1-1 going into the third round until he got dropped against Ian Gary. But we've seen what Ian Gary can do on the feet recently. We've seen the power. We've seen the evolution in Ian Gary's striking. So, and I definitely rate him better on the feet than Brian Battle. But Brian Battle is definitely improving. I just don't like the competition. Like even against Gilbert Urbino, like that guy Gilbert came in on like 9 days notice and took him down and was controlling him and had his back. And like, I would say the first minute and a half in the fight, and Gilbert just gassed. Gilbert ended up gassing him. Brian Battle subbed him because Gilbert didn't fight the hands at all for the rear naked choke. So I just think Gabe Green's going to drain this guy. I think the only way Battle wins this fight is if he wins it at range, just kind of avoiding the power shots of Gabe Green when he closes the distance and if he can mix in the takedowns. But I don't really think it's going to be that big for Brian Battle here. I really do like Gabe Green here. He's currently also sitting at -129 on Bet Online. Love that line. Yeah, give me Gabe Green here. And maybe Gabe Green by knockout, but I would just play the money line straight. That's how I did it here.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's a great breakdown. I'll start off on the Brian Battle side. I mean, look, he's got some power in his hands. He does have a 4-inch reach advantage in this spot, and he does have a pretty decent jab. He also has a variety of strikes. He's got kicks to the head. He can do body. He also has those inside knees. And again, like you mentioned, he's pretty good at range. He keeps range. He's good at distance. He's pretty accurate at range too. Again, with the wrestling, can't get it to the fucking ground. When he does, he can get subs when he's down there. I mean, the guy does have a 75% finish rate. Look, somebody's probably, I think somebody might even get finished in this fight, but but the kid is durable. I'll say that. But he is hittable, man. Like you said, he's so fucking hittable, man. And his level of competition is kind of suspect, in my opinion. And man, he does have a poor takedown defense, in my opinion. And again, there's a path for Gabe Green. I mean, Gabe Green, if he would just pull his fucking wrestling out, that's a clear path to victory, I think, in this fight. Because look, Gabe Green is well-rounded. The guy has, as you know, power in his fucking hands. He comes forward. He's throwing volume. This guy, I think, has a 91% finish rate or something like that. He can get takedowns because he can wrestle, but will he? That's like, God, I almost hate fucking betting on these fighters where, like, how do I know what his path to fucking victory is? Because somehow this dude's in the cage and doesn't fucking know what the fuck his path is. I always hate when you have question marks, but will he wrestle? And that's right in my notes, but will he? If he gets it down, he can grapple. He can get subs when he's down there. He's dangerous on the ground. And he's got good cardio. Durable. I don't think he's been finished. What the fuck? Probably like 2017, I think, is the last time this dude's been finished. His durability's been checking out, recently. He's kind of a guy, though, like if he can't outpace you, he doesn't necessarily win those fights when he can't outpace and break people. I think he might be able to do that to this kid, though. I really do. And I think the key is a takedown at the end of the round here, a takedown at the end of the round here. We might be headed to the decision. Again, I always hate taking the easy way out and going with that third round decision prop because I don't have evidence that Battle might slow down excessively. But I do like, as you said, I'm on the Gabe Green side here as well. The money line's not bad, but I'm also going to try to squeak it out with that decision prop and see what happens. I'm going to play that a little bit to see what happens.
Yeah, I also think this fight is probably one of the more underrated fights on the whole entire card.
Good fight.
My first original look was violence here. I mean, I'm pretty sure the under 2.5 is sitting at plus 135, but it's like I don't really see a lot of finishing equity on the Battle side. And
Right.
clearly, the bookies are all over it. I mean, they have Battle inside the distance at plus 400, and they have Green listed at plus 220. So,
right.
Yeah, that's why I'm just kind of staying away on the violent side, and I just played the Green money line. But we can move on to this next shit show of a fight. We got Jian Kim versus Mandy Baum. I guess I could start us off because I'm just gonna be really quick with it. Mandy Baum, I mean, she is pretty bad, but the one thing that she does do well is that she does use her jab a lot. It is pretty stiff, but she does get pressured, and Victoria Leonardo kind of just was really just pressuring her. But Leonardo is just really bad also. But I feel like Baum was landing the more cleaner shots in that fight. Like maybe the judges could have gave her that fight, but really just Jian Kim should really just cruise here. I mean, she's faced a way better competition. The only thing I have with her is that she's on a 4-fight losing streak, but I thought she beat Jocelyn Edwards. I mean, I also thought Podolova beat Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards has been getting lucky recently, man. It's pretty crazy to me. But yeah, I'm picking Jian Kim to win here with absolutely no confidence whatsoever. And I'm just scared to pick her by decision. I mean, maybe just fight to end by split. I just nothing else that I could possibly bet here at all. I mean, unless you have a hot take on this fight.
I mean, definitely not a hot take on this fight. the fight I spent the least time, watching any tape on the fight. I spent the least time taking any kind of notes on. I've already had notes on Kim for a while and Bomb. So we're gonna go with G Yuck Kim and Mandy Bum. That's who's fighting in this fight. It's terrible. It's a dumpster fire. But I'll start off on the Kim side. She's an okay striker. She has fast hands, of course. Obviously, she's doing a lot of air hitting, and I'm not sure her opponent, but maybe it looks okay for the judges. Who knows? She does decent front kicks. She actually has pretty good feints for a female fighter, I'll say, too. She can put up some volume, again, with an asterisk, because a lot of that's just hitting the air. She's durable, though. She's never been, I don't think she's even been knocked out in the UFC, let alone knocked out or anything. I think all her losses were by decision. And she has a pretty good takedown defense that's been, I think, tested at 71%. Obviously, the striking in air. If the judges see that shit, maybe they don't like it. The 4-fight losing streak kind of scares me. Maybe the judges don't like her. Her losses look bad too. But man, let's go on the other side of this fight. Mandy Bum. I mean, she's an okay striker, like you said. Decent jab. She's got okay leg kicks as well. She has some power in her hands, but listen, I've never been impressed with Mandy Bum. I think she's kind of slow. I think she has suspect cardio. And her loss to Leonardo, like you said, that smells. It smells bad. It smells real bad. Yeah, it smells so much that I'm on the other side of this fight. I don't think Kim finishes her. I mean, because there's not going to be too much attrition when most of their punches aren't landing. So I'm actually on Kim by decision in that one.
Yeah, I mean, just like any of these ladies to go by decision, and I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not gonna have any money here. I'm probably not even gonna watch the fight. I mean, I'll probably go in my garage and just rip some bong because fuck this fight. But I see Lou in the chat. What's up, Lou? And I see Daz in the chat as well. What's up, guys? You definitely move on because I don't want to talk about this fight anymore. Move on to a more interesting fight that I actually have two little sprinkle bets on. We got Natan Levy versus Pete Rodriguez. Pretty sure I started us off the last two times, so you can start us off here, Mushroom.
I'll start off. I guess I'll start off on the Natan Levy side. A lot of asterisks on his side as well. He's well-rounded, I guess. He's a decent striker. I know he's got some decent body kicks. He's decent at range as well. He's got that sideways stance. He uses his kicks to keep some range. He's an okay wrestler. Okay. He is supposedly a BJJ black belt, but I guess he might have got that out on that Israeli regional scene or wherever he may have gotten it from. So I don't know how suspect that is. I guess he can grapple. The guy's durable. It's been a decision in 6 of his last 7 fights or something like that. So, obviously he can be there all 15 minutes. I mean, the guy does look like he tires, but he kind of pushes through it somehow. But man, his hands are down low. This guy's fucking hittable, in my opinion. He makes mistakes on his feet. He gets dropped. We've seen this guy get dropped. I don't like his gas tank late either if he has to work real hard. I think he's pillow-fisted, in my opinion. And like I said, that low level of competition on the Israeli regional scene. Yeah, man, I'm not super impressed with Levy. I mean, maybe he can get some stuff done, but who knows? But man, Pete Rodriguez, he's got power in his hands, good boxer, fast, got pressure. You can walk towards you, walk you down. I think maybe it's a little much the way the kid keeps his hands low. Pete Rodriguez obviously has only lost to Jack Delman or Matt Elena. Man, but he's moving down in weight, cutting weight. He just pulled out of a fight because of weight issues. What's he going to look like off his back, this guy? If somehow Levy gets him to the ground, what's his cardio going to look like? If he is stuck on the ground and stuff like that. I know a lot of people on the Pete Rodriguez side. I see a lot of people on it, but I'm actually going to go to the other side of this fight, even though I think there was, more red flags on that side, and I dissed him a little more. But I'm going to actually go Levy. I don't know that he finishes Rodriguez, but I don't know that he doesn't someone into that sneaky little 3rd round / decision play on that one.
Yeah, I'm not on the other side here. I don't really like what I see out of Natan Levy when we get late into the fight, but I obviously do like him in the first round. karate style fighter. He's a black belt in karate, black belt in BJJ. But as you said, Mushroom, like, is it from the Israel regional scene? I don't really know where he got his black belt from. I've kind of been trying to figure that out, but I haven't been able to find it. But yeah, as Daz kind of said, like, he's boring and slow. And yeah, I kind of would say that, but like, he's kind of entertaining to watch in the first round of how like heavy he throws his body kicks. And he throws every leg kick that he throws is with power ending intentions. Like, he doesn't like, he's not really like, when I see karate style fighters on tape, I kind of expect them to be so like stylistically like just technical. But like Levy's technical, but he uses a lot of power when he's trying to be technical, and that's why he fades. And he goes for these single leg entries when he's tired because he tries to grapple, and then he tries to get you to the ground, and then he kind of just like controls you with your like just puts two arms around you, and he's kind of leaning on you, and you can kind of hear him just like heavily breathing, like the opponents are going to know it's going to be a weakness. And Pete Rodriguez, on the other hand, training with he sparred with Jared Cannonier 2 years ago in 2021. I saw that on his Instagram. He's a purple belt in BJJ. I heard it in one of his regional fights. So I do like that going into this fight. And yeah, I think the movement of Levy is going to be difficult for Pete Rodriguez to find them in the first round. But I really do see Pete Rodriguez working the body in the first round. Like, we saw him do it against Mike Jackson. I don't rate Mike Jackson high, but it's like what I see in the film is that he does go after the body. He does it in his regional scene also. Like, he goes to the body and then he goes up top. This guy has a lot of power. And I sprinkled round 2 KO at plus 1,500. And I sprinkled round 3 KO at plus 2,500. I don't like how Levy fades in fights. He's a karate style fighter. And when that goes late into fights with all the movement that you're using and your hands are low, yeah, and especially with a guy with Pete Rodriguez who's just coming down from 170, coming down the lightweight. Yeah, I definitely do like Pete Rodriguez here.
Nice.
Let me just get a charger real quick. My computer is about to die real quick.
I can start.
You can do the next fight real quick.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show my camera off. It's Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silva Andrade.
Yeah, I'll start us off.
Okay.
Do what you got to do. All right, so I'm going to start us off on the Oldberg side. Kickboxer. He's a decent kickboxer as well. He's at City Kickboxing, with a lot of good people over there. He's got power in his hands. He's got a good jab. He's got a 2-inch reach advantage in his spot. He's also got a pretty good left hook as well. And he throws, straight, good straight punches. He's also a good counter puncher. He's got good leg kicks. He's got a variety of kicks. I think he's, obviously the way better striker in this fight. And he knocked off that Negro Mariano. I mean, man, and I think this guy's still improving. Decent fight IQ. He's pretty durable. Now, I do know that he has kind of maybe suspect cardio late. But he works hard. The kid works hard. His body can get tired out. On the other side of the fight, you got Ior Poteria. 4-1 in his last 5. He's got power in his hands. He's got, pretty quick hands too. You can throw some volume. He's also got, decent leg kicks. He'll walk you down. He comes forward, maybe put a little, try to put a pace on you. Man, this fucking dude is fucking hittable, man. And, poor strike defense. He's got shitty cardio, I think, in my opinion. I think this is a step up for him because he's fought poor. Again, here we are with these like weird regional scenes. I think he's from the Ukraine regional scene or something like that. I mean, how high level is that stuff? Especially what's going on there now. What do you think the toughest guys over there are doing? Training in a gym, or they might be in the army or whatever. They might be protecting their homeland, or who knows? I mean, and I just again not impressed with this dude. Fucking beat up old ass fucking, Shogun. Like, man, what the fuck? Dude should have killed that dude instantly and it took him a little bit. Yeah, man. Not really impressed with this dude. I'm definitely on the Oldberg side, and I think Oldberg's going to kill this fucking kid probably inside the distance. Wouldn't mind a 1-2 play on that either.
Yeah, I'm on the other side. I think Oldberg's going to win, but I think he's going to win by decision. I think this fight's going to decision. I bet the over 1.5. I bet it at plus 110. When I watch Oldberg fight, he just fights very technical. yeah, he does have power in his hands, but it's like the guys he's facing on the feet are just so technically like slow, and they're just like heavily muscled. Like I look at who is it, Tafan? I don't know his last name. But that guy was, I'm pretty sure he's like 6-0 in MMA, and he's only had like about like I think it was like 12 Muay Thai fights. And I know Carlos Ulberg, he's training out of City Kickboxing. And what do I know about City Kickboxing? Those guys are technical. They're not savage finishers. They take their time and they have methodical game plans. And they let the fight come to them usually. And like, I don't really see Ulberg, like as Daz said here, I completely agree. Like minus 200 for ITD is juiced. Yeah, completely, especially on a guy like Ulberg. Like I don't rate Ulberg like a savage finisher to rate his inside the distance prop at minus 200. Like and the guy to win by decision is plus 460. He's going to land better at range. If he avoids the takedowns and he avoids the clinch situations, it's him all day. But as you said, Mushroom, Ihor's hands are very low, and I completely hate to see that from him. But Nikolai couldn't get him out of there. It was a standing TKO, and what did Nikolai do in that fight? He wrestled him in the first round. Ulberg isn't doing that. Ulberg is not coming out here and shooting takedowns, and I just don't see Ulberg putting himself at risk where Ihor is most live in the first round, where all his finishes are coming inside the distance. So yeah, from a betting perspective, I like the over 1.5. I bet it, and I really like Ulberg by points at plus 460. I think it's just a stupid line, especially like the way how Fabio Charant fights. Fabio Charant wants to finish you, and Carlos Ulberg knew that. Carlos Ulberg knew that, and he's like, why am I going to put myself in danger like I did against Kennedy and Zaquani, who I was absolutely fucking decimating in the first round and gassed myself because I couldn't finish him. And he did it great against Nicolau in his last fight. He took his time. He waited for him to come in, and he closed the distance, and he landed heavy shots. But Nicolau is fucking shit on the feet, dude. He's a base wrestler. He's not a striker. The only thing that he is tough and durable. I don't rate his skill set on the feet high at all. And I think Ihor Pretoria doesn't have the worst striking at all either. And yeah, I like Ulberg here, definitely. I think the money line is safe, but it's definitely a little juicy now. And as Daz said, that ITD is ridiculous. But yeah, and as Daz is saying here, he's looking at the over 1.5, and yeah, I bet it at plus 110. I still like it at plus 100, and maybe wait for DraftKings or like FanDuel to see where that fight starts round 2 comes out, or maybe on DraftKings what I might do is I want to see what the over a half in Ulberg money line is, and maybe I can reduce him like minus 200 and just slaughter it. Yeah, because that's like my mindset right now going into this fight. I think I'm gonna have a lot of action on this fight on track too.
Oh well, so now the over 1.5, didn't that hit in Ulberg's last fight as well?
Yeah, he went over even in the Kennedy and Zaquanu fight.
Yeah, he's been that. So you know what? I like that play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put a little something on that.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say though about Pretoria, listen, the UFC, I believe, was really trying to fucking get Shogun a fucking win on his way out. And I think they went through their fucking roster and literally thought to themselves, who's one of the shittiest guys on this roster that we can put about this fucking in front of the ghost of a fucking legend and then give this guy a win on his way out? And they picked that dude. That's why it's just hard for me to pick him here. I can see, look, like you said, he's got that knockout power. I get it, but man, I don't know. But I like that over, man. That's a great play. I wrote it down, so I'm gonna be playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking terrifying. Don't get me wrong. And guys, I hate betting overs. I hate it. I usually bet violence all the time. But I mean, my track bet record on overs has really recently been making me go to it a lot more. And yeah, I'm really liking it. So I think I don't know what my track record. I'm pretty sure I'm like, I think I'm like about like, I think it's like 15-3, maybe 15-4 on overs. But I mean, I could definitely post it, and like, cause I don't lie about myself. I'm on Bet MMA Tips. Everything's tracked. So yeah, we can definitely move on though to the next fight. Yeah, we could. I think we got Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silva Andrade. I'll start us off here. I got Cody Stamann. I bet Cody Stamann early. I bet him at -115. I just don't really like this fight for Douglas Silva Andrade. Yeah, could Douglas Silva Andrade knock out Cody Stamann? Of course he can, but Cody Stamann's never been knocked out. He's been in there with very elite strikers, and he looked really good on the feet against Merab, which really impressed me. Like, he is a former Gold Glove boxing guy, is Cody Stamann, and he has a wrestling pedigree. And I'm pretty sure I don't know what college he went to. I don't know. I think he might have been D2. He could have been D2, but he does have that pedigree also. What Douglas Silva Andrade is, he's all power. And I watched his last two fights, like against Morozov. Like, Morozov put him back into the fight because he just kept throwing a bunch of spinning shit and was shooting takedowns about from like 20 fucking feet out. I don't know what he was doing. And Said Nurmagomedov as well. And I saw Morozov crack him, which I didn't like. I mean, I think Morozov I don't think Morozov has really great boxing. I like his like Muay Thai more than his boxing. And it kind of shocked me when he knocked Douglas Silva Andrade down in like the first minute and a half in that fight and basically 10-8'd him. And Said Nurmagomedov does the same shit. We saw him do it against Jonathan Martinez, basically cost him the fucking fight. He put himself back into that fight because he was throwing a bunch of spinning shit, and he guessed. He did it the whole first round. He even did it in the second round, and he did it in the third round. But Douglas Silva Andrade is a dog. Hasn't fought in 8 months, though. He's now 37 years old, and this guy doesn't win minutes. He just doesn't win minutes. And what Cody Stamann doesn't do is he doesn't make mistakes. He's so technically sounded. He's really good in the boxing, and he can mix in the wrestling here as well. I really like Cody Stamann here. I even like him at -140. But Douglas Silva Andrade, he's live in every single fight. Guy has 20 wins by knockout. If it's going to be anyone to knock out Cody Stamann, I think it's definitely Douglas Silva Andrade. But I just feel like his only path to victory is a first round finish. Obviously, it could be a second round finish too, but if you're just going to bet Douglas Silva Andrade, I would just bet him inside the distance. I don't really see him winning a decision here. Mushroom, are you on the other side or you on Cody Stamann here?
So I'm on Stamann as well. Listen, he's a decent striker. He's got some power. Like you said, he's a Golden Glove boxer. He throws volume. He's a decent pocket fighter too. You know what I'm saying? He's got pretty good leg kicks. He can point fight if he wants to. He's a good wrestler, like you said. Strong, and he's a strong grappler. He'll get control time. Listen, and the durability, it's crazy. Like, he's never been knocked down in the UFC, let alone, I don't think he's ever been knocked down in the UFC. Again, he's kind of pillow-fisted, needs that, he doesn't have that one-shot KO power, but I think the volume is going to be enough. I think the judges are going to see it. On the other side, you got Douglas Silva Andrade. He's well-rounded. He's like a Muay Thai style striking. He's explosive. He's got power to say though. He does have 4-inch reach advantage here, and he throws fucking bombs, man. Guy's a gritty veteran. He's got some, good UFC experience. He's fought some good competition. He's durable, man. God, he's got good takedown defense. At bantamweight, he's better on the feet, I think, in this fight as far as the power goes. But I'm with you. I'm with Cody Stamann. I think Cody Stamann is going to get him down. All it takes is 1 or 2 at the end of the round. They take that round because I think there's going to be enough volume from Stamann as well. And if it gets in close, where Andrade's power is not going to be so much in close, and Cody can fight it close too, and he's good when it's in close. So I'm right there with you. I'm on Cody Stamann. I don't think he finishes Andrade. I like him by decision, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And I'm just going to add to the Cody Stamann side. He didn't wrestle Lasarda in his last fight because Lasarda has 10 wins by submission. So it wouldn't really make me think that 10 of his 11 wins are by submission. So what really impressed me is he went out there against a straight Muay Thai guy and just fucking walked him down and basically beat him on the feet. So, yeah, I really like it coming into this fight as well. And what's up, Victor? Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to give everybody out there, a shout out. Alex was the first one in here. Appreciate you, brother. Rob Lawrence, my guy. Violence. Daz, as always. Lou Betcha, thanks for stopping by. Who else? And Victor De Jesus. A lot of these guys are in my chat as well. So I
Oh,
love
yeah.
and there's some sharp motherfuckers in this chat already. I can see
Oh,
it, man.
yeah, man.
Daz, Lou Betcha, Rob Lawrence, and all these guys, Alex, and Victor De Jesus. All these guys are fucking sharp, man. So we got a
Yeah.
good. I always get a good chat. And we got a good chat going on here today, man. I love it.
Hell yeah. Love having you as my first guest, Mushroom.
Yep, thanks.
We can move on whenever you're ready. You ready? You got anything to add on to this fight, or?
That's it. I'm good with that one for now.
All right, cool. Oh, nice. We got Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman, and yeah. Did I start us off last time, or did you? I don't really remember.
I think you started us off.
Okay. Kind of want to start off here. You don't mind? I got a good take here.
You're so running.
Yeah, guys. I'm on Chase Sherman. Yeah, I bet Chase Sherman scorecards equals no action. I bet it at plus 425. Just think the line is just completely off. I don't really see a lot of finishing equity out of Carl Williams. He had multiple opportunities against Jimmy Lawson. He didn't take it. Jimmy Lawson is probably also, guys, the worst fucking fighter to ever come from the fight in the Contender Series. I understand, guys, he's Penn State wrestler pedigree, but the guy's dog shit in mixed martial arts. So move on to the Brzezinski fight. I'm watching this fight, I think today. It was today, this morning, when I was eating my breakfast, and I'm just screaming. I'm like, go to fucking mount, pass mount, pass mount. I don't know what Carl Williams is doing, but he's just sitting there, just bear hugging Brzezinski. And Carl Williams doesn't have good top control. Jimmy Lawson has 3 minutes of cardio in mixed martial arts. And straight wrestler also, guys, basically has 5 minutes of cardio. Chase Sherman has way more mixed martial art fights than Carl Williams. They're both the same age, which just completely kind of shocked me. And if Brzezinski had like a breath of cardio in that fight, he finishes Carl Williams 100%. Carl Williams had his hands on his knees in, I think it was 6.5 minutes into that fight. What's good, J Bone? Appreciate you stopping by.
What's up,
I just think Chase Sherman is so live here. Like, we're saying Fat Collier passed Mount and finished him. Yeah, he did. But how did it get there? Chase Sherman was beating him on the feet. All he had to do was keep boxing him, but he threw one of the lousiest fucking body kicks I've ever seen. And Collier kind of just walked forward and knew he was going to hit him up against the fence. Took him down, didn't really, just caught the leg and kind of fell on him. It's like two fat heavyweights in the octagon. And then he just passed full mount right away. And Jay Collier has like about, I would say on fight night, then Carl Williams, I would probably say about maybe like what? In just blubber, probably like 40 to 50 pounds than Carl Williams. Yeah, Carl Williams is young and athletic. He's going to be a problem in this division, but the pace he sets for heavyweight, you just can't do it. You can't do it. And this guy only has 3 finishes. Chase Sherman has 15 of his 16 wins inside the distance. He's plus 295 on the money line, and DraftKings placed his finish-only prop at plus 425. It just makes absolutely no sense because he can finish Carl Williams here, and I'm picking Chase Sherman here. I'm picking Chase Sherman to win this fight. Let's just remember, guys, that the bookies show no respect to Carl Williams, opening him plus 135 against Brzezinski. He's now minus 425. So I just think the line movement is crazy. I think everything is crazy in this fight. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this fight. If Chase Sherman loses, I think he's done. But if Chase Sherman gets up. I mean, Romanov took him down 3 times. It took Romanov 3 takedowns. And Romanov is definitely a more heavier, better wrestler with a more vicious ground game and top control ground game than Carl Williams. So, yeah, give me Chase Sherman at these crazy odds, and I think he knocks out Carl Williams at plus 800. I like that also, and I might jump on that with my scorecards equals no action bet. Mushroom, anything for you here?
Yeah, I got some stuff, but this is a fight that I didn't. I'm not going to be heavily invested in. Probably not going to be one of my Mushroom MMA official picks or anything. I've been kind of back and forth on this a little bit. Listen, you make a lot of good points. I guess I can start on with Carl Williams. I mean, I know there's always a lot of asterisks on this one because he has wrestled, like you said, somebody from Penn State, but it was awesome. Like, come on. I mean, I guess he can grapple. I guess he can get it. He tries to get it to the ground a lot. Again, but he doesn't have great top control. And, Sherman was getting up, against, like you said, like Romanoff and everything like that. But I just been back and forth. But the one thing I just see is, man, I watched a couple of Sherman fights, and, man, that motherfucker looks like he's got some quit in him. Now, I'll give it to him. Look, he's got power in his fucking hands. He has 15 knockouts, like you said. He throws volume for a fucking guy his size. More UFC experience. Not like Carl Williams is some kind of fucking knockout guy or something like that. Because Sherman is hittable when he's on his feet. His head fucking stays in the center, but I don't know that he has to worry about too much power coming back towards him from Williams. But Chase Sherman, if somehow this fight does get to the fucking ground, Chase Sherman's horrible on his fucking back, man. I mean, he's got an okay get-up game. I'll give him that. I get it. I think he can slow late as well. I think they both have kind of suspect cardio. But Sherman has taken a lot of damage in his fucking fights, man. And he has quitting them. And I think I just see this. Like, I just see it getting on the ground. Williams is going to be on top. And fucking Sherman just is so bad that I think he might just get his face pounded into the fucking canvas and just give up. I think it's a case like that. I am going to go with Carl Williams. This is no bet, no action on it, but I do like Carl Williams by KO in that scenario where it gets to the ground. He gets on top. I know he doesn't pass guard well. I know but I just see it like I just see it. So that's just the way I'm going to go with this fight. I'm definitely not putting my money on a fucking vision. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way I see it.
I'm just going to add one more thing to this fight. I forgot to add. In the last fight against Acosta, Chase Sherman opened up that fight and was throwing leg kicks. If he does that against Carl Williams here, which Brzezinski was doing, Carl Williams' movement is fucked. He's going to have no game. And if Chase Sherman realizes that and has any fucking brain, because he has so much more mixed martial arts fights than Carl Williams, he's gonna finish this guy. I really could sound like an idiot, but like I really do. I'm really to say that I have confidence in Chase Sherman. It like puts pores on my skin, but I think he really does pull up an upset here. I think he's gonna piss a lot of people off. I really do.
Yeah, I'm definitely not putting Williams in too many parlays. Like I said, it's not going to be one of my official bets on my show tomorrow. Just a lean, a pick, something I kind of see happening. Again, second lowest invested fight that'll be on this entire card. You know what I'm saying? There's a
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Anthony. Appreciate the kind words.
Anthony W. He's another guy. He's always in my chat. These guys. Another sharp motherfucker, man. They just keep showing up in the room. Sharp, 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 and sharp. They just keep coming. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody out there. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Without you guys, this wouldn't be anything. So.
And J-Bone. I mentioned J-Bone either. Thanks, J-Bone. I appreciate you being out there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, J-Bone's awesome. J-Bone's been in my Discord for a while. He's an OG. He's been one of my first followers on Twitter. Always liking, commenting on my stuff, too.
Awesome.
Can move on to the next fight. We got Matt Brown versus Court McGee. You can start us off here, Mushroom. I started us off the last 2 times.
Okay, that's fine. Matt Brown, 2-3 in his last 5. 42 years old, Matt Brown. I guess they're trying to prove he's really immortal, huh? Striker. Good striker. He's got power in his hands. Man, he has these vicious fucking elbows, man. He's got good leg and body kicks. He's dangerous too, this dude. Gets knockouts. He has 16 fucking knockouts. And I think all his UFC fucking wins are by finish. I might be mistaken, but I think they're all by finish. But man, his fucking gas tank. It's almost like you can slow down in the first round because I mean he's throwing everything. He's throwing everything. He's trying to fucking kill you. I get it. In my opinion, he struggles with grapplers. And man, a fucking 42 years old. God, I don't know, man. Another kind of like, fight. I don't know how much I'm going to do with it, but Court McGee, 2-3 in his last 5. Just experienced being knocked out in the UFC. I think I don't know if that was his first or second time, but it's been a while. He's a decent striker, but he's nothing ground game pretty much. He's got that good cage work. He can wrestle. He can get takedowns. He's a good rapper when he gets down there. He's fucking strong too. He has good top control, good cardio, grinder, pace, good ground and pound when he gets down. He's not just fucking laying on you all the time. He's fucking durable. I know he's just been knocked out, but I mean, just look over the guy's record. The guy's pretty fucking durable. And he took a year layoff from that KO. It's not like he just got knocked out fucking 3 months ago and he's trying to rush it back. I kind of like that. I mean, I think you can see where I'm going with this. I am on the Court McGee side. I can see McGee winning this. I can even see him winning it late or at least by decision. I think he's going to be doing more. I think he can get Matt Brown down. I think he can keep him there. I think he can beat him up a little bit while he's on the ground. I think he can gas him out eventually. So, again, that third round / decision play is something I'm definitely going to be looking at.
Yeah, I was actually looking at this fight before we went on air. Before I was having problems with my computer. Sorry about that, guys. But I don't like Matt Brown's cardio, especially now that he's 42 years old. And just like seeing that this guy has been submitted 10 times, and especially that being out of like 19 losses against a guy with a grappling pedigree like Court McGee. Pretty sure McGee is a black belt, and he's facing high-level grapplers in Diego Lima, Sean Brady, Conduit, Rosman, and he got sparked by Jeremiah Wells, and Jeremiah Wells would spark Matt Brown. I'm sorry, Anthony, but I love Matt Brown. But I feel so like bad. I don't want to fade him, but I'm really looking at Court McGee round 2 submission and round 3 submission. Like they're boosty, man. I think I saw in DraftKings round 2, maybe it was 2,300. I think so. And I think round 3 I saw was at like plus 3,000. Those I'm definitely sprinkling probably after the show. I'm going to be breaking down. I can break down right here and I'll be posting on my Twitter as well. Matt Brown submitted in 10 of his losses. Court McGee, obviously, is going to try to get this fight to the ground. And Matt Brown, I'm pretty sure, has been rear naked choked in I don't know in how many of his submission losses, but someone posted a stat. Pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 rear naked chokes that Matt Brown's been submitted by, and that's like Court McGee's go-to, and he loves back control. So, and we've seen him against Sean Brady. Like he's an elite grappler, and he's 4 years younger. He's 38, but shit, man, we know Matt Brown's gonna come at him. Matt Brown is pretty sure he's going to retire after this fight. I mean, if he kept fighting, it would really amaze me. But, yeah, I'm looking at Court McGee round 2, round 3 submission. But I'm going to pick Court McGee to win this fight. And I'm going to pick Court McGee to win this fight by submission.
Much. Great call. I like it. I hope it happens in their third because I don't cover my bet as well. So I hope it happens in their third. It'll pay more for you, right? It'll pay more for you, and I'll hit my bet too. So that's good for both.
And, it was great last week because when Kennedy won, you had Inside the Distance. And I remember I'm like, please go to round 2. Please go to round 2. Like, because I knew that Clark was just, oh, my God, I knew Clark was done, man. But, yeah, we can move on. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, now we're on the main card, and I'm really hyped to watch. I was shitting on this guy when I betted against him last time. We got Alex Morono versus Tim Means. I'll start us off here. I bet Santiago Ponzinibbio at minus 160 just because I saw a picture of Alex Morono at I don't know, when he took a fight on short notice, but guy looked like he had a 12-pack when he took this fight. And I really thought he just looked terrible. But, man, did he shock me, man. He came out there, he hurt Ponzinibbio like 4 times, even hurting him with a jab. The way that Alex Morono strikes is just very awkward, and you find yourself losing fights and it just makes you have to walk forward. And Tim Means is a guy who leaves his chin straight up. He doesn't move his head. He's now 39 years old, and I'm watching Morono like fuck up guys like Semlisberger, who's just tough as hell. I mean, Semlisberger couldn't even open his eye at the end of round one. Morono was teeing up. And then I watched him against Ponzinibbio up until he got knocked out. He's beating him everywhere. He got caught by a nasty right hand. And what do I like about Morono? He doesn't have a defensive guard when he's on his back. It's completely offensive. And Tim Means wrestles. He's been submitted 6 times. And what do we see with Tim Means? It's like he needs to wrestle in order to start winning minutes now. And he's training with a bunch of has high school kids that he's training with wrestling, which I mean, yeah, I like, but it's like, you really start to forget about all the BJJ aspect of things when you're in MMA and your training camp. It's just more of getting yourself and getting the takedown. So, yeah, I think Alex Morono can submit Tim Means. I think he can knock him out on the feet. And I'm picking Alex Morono to win this fight inside the distance. But I bet the fight doesn't go to decision at plus 110. And shout out to Blood Money, Cody MMA. If you guys aren't, I'm pretty sure you guys all know who Cody MMA is. Everyone check him out. He's awesome. I'm always watch Cody. Hell yeah, love Cody. But Mushroom, what do you got here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much going to go the same exact way you are there. I just like to talk a little bit. I guess I'll say, give to Tim Means, I guess, he's well-rounded, I think. He has some power in his hands. He's got some elbows and knees. He can do some dirty boxing. Got some leg kicks. He's a decent wrestler. BJJ black belt, but man, this dude has like 48 pro fights. I think almost half of them are the fucking UFC. He seems slower. I mean, when I watch the tape, it just seems like a watch tape from fucking years ago. And now look at him now. He seems like he's fucking slower, man. He seems like he's faded, man. He gets fucking wobbled a lot recently too, man. His chin is, I don't know, man. They might completely check out on one this time if Morono is, like you said, man. He was busting up fucking Semelsberger, making him put his eyes closed. What the fuck's going to happen with this kid, man? And his accumulation of damage, another one that just over the years has just taken a fucking huge amount of damage. And again, poor sub defense. Again, another guy with really bad sub defense. Like you said, I think it's 6 subs. So on the Morono side, I like him, man. He's well-rounded. He's a decent striker. He's got power in his hands, as you said. He can throw his hands. He's fast. They come from weird places. He can put on volume. He can still put on a pace. And he can also throw straight punches, too. Amongst all that other bullshit, he can still throw a fucking straight punch. He can throw in combos as well. And the guy can wrestle. He's a good grappler. Good top control when he gets down. He's fucking another guy that's not just laying on. He's getting fucking ground and pound, hunting for subs. The guy says, good cardio. And he actually had a training camp this time. How about that? He actually had a training camp. His wins were fucking better, too, in my opinion. He's chinny. He's kind of chinny, in my opinion. Kind of, And maybe kind of suspect cardio late, but I like the guy. I have him inside the distance as well. I like it. I really do. I think maybe the 30 bird hangs them gloves up maybe at the end of this one. Who knows? I wish I knew that ahead of time so I could fucking slam Morono more. But I like him inside.
Yeah, I really like Morono here. And I see people who are saying, like, well, it's a heavy price tag on Morono at minus 220. And yeah, it is a little bit, but I mean, it backs it up, man. I mean, I think this is going to be the best version we're ever going to see of Alex Morono, especially coming off the best performance of his career in a knockout performance. And I thought his performance last outing topped Semlisberger, and he even won that fight. So, especially short notice against Ponzinibbio. But, we can move on to the next fight. Pretty sure we got Daniel Rodriguez versus Ian Gary. And, if you want to start us off, Mushroom, you can start us off.
I guess I'll start us off on the Daniel Rodriguez side. He's a decent boxer. He's got power in his hands, volume. He's got a good jab, comes forward. He's good at range as well. He's got more pro and UFC experience. If he gets on the ground, if he gets it down, he's a BJJ black belt. He can get subs. He can grapple. A 60% takedown defense. He's durable, though. I think his wins and losses are better. But man, he's fucking heavy on his fucking lead leg, with his boxing style. His fight IQ to me is a little, man, sometimes a little suspect. And hasn't this guy broken one or the other of his hands over the last, few years and such? Like, I kind of worry about that. Because once you're down to that one hand, man, unless you're some people, you're not going to fucking win that fight. Ian Gary, obviously 5-0 in his last 5 years, no losses. That kickboxer style, decent striker. I mean, he's got power in his hands. He keeps it late too. Like, he'll hold his power. He'll throw combos. He's another one. He has a variety of kicks, head, body, leg, all that shit. Decent footwork, good cardio, can grapple. I think the kid's still improving. Man, he's fucking hittable though, man. His strike defense is shit, kind of sometimes. Not shit, but I mean it's not great. But he recovers well. And who do you think the UFC is trying to spotlight here? You know what I'm saying? And D-Rod being heavy on that fucking lead leg, man, I don't know. I'm on Gary in this one, actually. I kind of like Gary. D-Rod's kind of durable, so maybe Gary by decision. What do you think, Prop?
Yeah, I completely agree. I especially when I listened to Daniel Rodriguez's interview, and I'm pretty sure it came out like an hour ago on YouTube. If you guys want to go listen to it, and he said how happy he was that he's only going to be facing a striker here in Ian Gary. I don't think Daniel Rodriguez has any idea, Mushroom, what you said, that Ian Gary has grappling. He's
Yes.
training at Kill Cliff MMA, where Gilbert Burns and all these guys are training. And, we've been saying it about his past fights for Ian Gary. Well, why won't he grapple? Because he's in lower level fights where he can really prove his striking. This is a fight against Rodriguez that Rodriguez can be taken down. And Ian Gary has a good back take. I think he's definitely live for a submission. I like his striking definitely better than Rodriguez, but I do think Rodriguez is the better boxer if we're just standing there and we're throwing hands and we're not moving. And Daniel Rodriguez is aware. He thinks Ian Gary is just going to keep technically hitting him and moving away from him. And Rodriguez said, he's like, well, this guy doesn't have he's underestimating Ian Gary's power. He thinks he has more power coming into this fight, which maybe if I agree with, but like not on the speed wise. And I think speed and power is key. And I do like Rodriguez's speed, but the guy's 36. And Ian Gary I think he's 25. So yeah, huge age discrepancy there. And yeah, this is a heavy price tag, as we would say. Like, same thing with the Alex Morono fight. But like, I really do think Ian Gary's price tag here is for a reason. And as I said, he's at Kill Cliff MMA, and I mean they've just looked great recently. And I really think he might use the grappling and use the wrestling here. And I mean if Rodriguez can steal, I think the submission's live. But another bet that I think's live is Ian Gary by split decision. I think if this is on the feet, and if Rodriguez is landing the more powerful shots, if he gets a knockdown, I don't know how the judges are going to score it. And we're in Charlotte. I don't know how these judges are in Charlotte. So, yeah, I think I'm going to bet Ian Gary by split decision and maybe even sprinkle his sub prop, just because I really think that I think he can submit Daniel Rodriguez. If he gets right to the ground, I really think he can. It's just if he's going to, I don't know, but he's definitely the more cleaner striker. He's definitely has better movement than Rodriguez. Yeah, I'm picking Ian Gary to win this fight, but I'm picking him to win this fight by split decision.
Like it.
We can move on to the co-main event. We got Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Johnny Walker. I'll start us off here. Violence. I bet the under 1.5. I bet it at minus 115. Anthony Lionheart Smith, he's going to come out here. He's going to strike with Johnny Walker. if he does go to takedown route, I think it's definitely the smartest thing for him, obviously, because Johnny Walker, I mean, he's gonna throw haymakers in round one. I had a bet on Johnny Walker last fight. Did I think that he would get a submission? Hell no. I mean, it was completely mind blowing me. I think the sub was plus 3,000 on FanDuel when he did get that submission against Kutalaba. So yeah, picking to win this fight though, it's just like tough for me, man. I don't know. Like the bookies haven't picked him for a reason, but man, I really do think like Johnny Walker went out there against Bulk, right? He fucked him up, man. I mean, he fucked him up. I don't think he's gonna go into Lionheart Smith's guard, but if he does, Lionheart Smith is definitely live in his guard. But I think it's gonna be a dogfight, man. I think Fight Doesn't Go is a great parlay piece. I think Fight Doesn't Start round 3 is a great parlay piece. I think the under 1.5 is a great bet. Even Fight Doesn't Start round 2, I think is a great bet. Violence, 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 violence. But on a prediction to win, I'll pick Johnny Walker, and I'll pick Johnny Walker by first round knockout. But as Cody's saying, 100%. He's definitely more durable. And if I was to play Lionheart Smith and you think it's going to get past the first or 2 rounds, maybe take a poke at his sub 3. Just because why not? Because, I mean, we saw Kirillov completely – I mean, Kirillov had his back. Kirillov isn't – I don't really think Kirilov's jiu-jitsu is on Lionheart Smith's jiu-jitsu level also. So, yeah, I completely agree with you there, Cody. I'm rooting for violence. But, yeah, Smith is definitely more durable than Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker is chinny as shit, man. Johnny Walker is chinny as shit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you got a take here, or?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to Cody in the chat, man. He always shouts me out when I'm in his chats. He always shouts out my show. So make sure these guys tomorrow, him and Johnny, they're going to be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. on YouTube. I'm in there every Thursday as well. Listen, nothing wrong with getting some last minute tips from these fucking sharp motherfuckers, man. It doesn't hurt. Saying again, I just want you to look up and down this fucking chat and look how sharp and, by the way, dedicated these fucking people are. And again, we wouldn't be able to do this stuff without them. And just want to thank them once again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got Anthony in the chat as well. Yeah, so you just entered another dimension, probably off that blinker cart rip you just took. Do you got a take on this fight? Did you?
Yeah, listen, I got Anthony Smith. He's well rounded. He's a decent striker. He can throw some volume. Good jab. He uses his elbow well. His elbow's well and close. Decent leg kicks, and he's an okay wrestler. He'll get some good top pressure. He's a decent grappler. He gets subs. I think he gets subs from top and bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Could have sworn I seen one from one or two from the edge. So, but he's inconsistent. Like, what Anthony Smith is going to fucking show up to this fight as well? His striking defense just seems suspect to me. And, you know, between these two, these guys can fucking finish a lot in their losses. Especially, I think Anthony Smith is 14 out of 17 of his losses or finishes. And didn't he just have an ankle injury not too long ago in his last fight or whatever?
Ankalaev heard it bad.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, that's right, because I won money on Ankalaev. I think, what round was that? 3?
I think it was round 2.
So I won money on it.
Doesn't go to decision.
On a round, so I won money when I remember. But Johnny Walker, you know, he's a decent striker. Like you said, he's got power as ace, and maybe he has a 6-inch reach advantage in this spot. And he's big for that fucking weight class, man. Explosive. Another guy with good elbows. Athletic. He does that spinning shit. He's a decent kickboxer. And he's, again, another guy with those unorthodox strikes, man. Who knows where the fuck they're coming from? And if I'm not mistaken, this guy's a D1 wrestler. I think that's correct. I think he's a D1 wrestler. He can grapple. He can get subs. But you'd be surprised, like you said, when he got one, that surprises the shit out of you. They are on his record. He's got good takedown defense and a good get-up game as well. But man, fucking shitty, man. And he wobbled, KO'd, and that fucking meme KO. Like, man, Like, that's something in your brain. That shit fucking took like 3 seconds for that shit to react or whatever, man. He is kind of low volume because he does hit fucking real hard. He can slow late. And another guy that's been finished, I think, in 6 out of 7 of his losses. Look, the main way to bet this fucking is obviously violence. Somebody's going to die in this motherfucker. Somebody's going to die. I don't want to, it's hard to predict. Is it going to be a sub? Maybe Anthony somehow Walker gets on the ground. Anthony can fucking sub him. Walker shocks the world again and fucking gets another sub or what. Anything. So, I mean, maybe just put some early rounds in this fight. But yeah, somebody's getting hurt. It's definitely a violent spot. So I love that.
Yeah, I'm on it as well, and I think violence is the answer instead of playing a money line. Yeah, just violence.
But I do like Walker by KO.
Yeah. I'm on the same path, but Johnny Walker can get knocked out 100%. I mean, Johnny Walker's chin is fucking oh my. Yeah, but we made it, guys. Thank you for everyone who is still with us. We made it to the main event. If you guys are still here, drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't. I linked Mushroom's Twitter and linked his YouTube. And then after I got to edit, I got to link my stuff as well. But yeah, guys, main event time. We got Jailton Almeida versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. And yeah, I'll start us off here. I mean, I have Jailton Almeida, future heavyweight championship bet. I took it in October of last year, and I took it at plus 5,000. I put 50 on it to win $2,500, and I don't know if he's gonna get to the title fight this year, but that's just the value I see in this. I saw in him in October, and I think this guy is a future champ. I really love what I see from Jailton. I mean, one takedown, you're basically fucking screwed. It's relentless on top. BJJ black belt, grappling with elite grapplers, and yeah, I as Daz is saying, dumb main event. When I first saw it, I was shocked because I'm like, this could be a 3-round fight. Why is it a 5-round main event? But that just kind of shows that they have a lot of belief in Jailton Almeida, and I really love what I see from Jailton. But I mean, Rozenstruik is definitely live for a knockout. We saw what he just did to Chris Daukaus. 12 of his 13 wins come by knockout. But the best way to play this fight is violence, obviously, but they're all over it. I mean, the fight doesn't go to decision. Minus 1,400. Whew. The under 2.5. The under 1.5 is minus 205. I don't have it tracked yet, but I bet the under 1.5. And I put 2 units on it to win a unit. I think I'm gonna track it, but I bet it, Mushroom, when we were at UFC 288. Yeah, I bet it when we were at UFC 288. So I actually didn't end up posting it because my phone ended up dying. It took me three hours to get home off the transit to get back to Long Island, and I
thought you were in your mind.
Yeah, like 5 a.m. But yeah, I usually don't like the track bets that I don't post to my Twitter because I don't want people questioning me and be like, yeah, like, well, you didn't give us this bet. But then I'm like, yeah, but I'll probably end up tracking it just because I really like the spot. But yeah, Mushroom, you got any takes here? Or
I mean, I'll just go through it. I mean, listen, I'll go through a couple of my notes and then I'll just give you what I think could actually be the way to go. So obviously, Rozenstruik, he's got KO power in both hands. He keeps it if it somehow goes 5 rounds. He still has 5-round fucking power. He's got a good jab. I think he just knocked somebody out with his fucking jab already. But man, low volume, poor takedown defense. Man, when he gives up his back too to get up off the ground. There's a lot I like about Jailton Almeida. 5-0 in his last 5. The dude has power in his hands. He's big. He's strong. Front kicks, that snap kick into the takedowns. He's got a good double leg when he's in there. He's going to get you up around, pick you up, slam, do what he's got to do. He's a good wrestler if it gets down there. This guy, I think, was actually, where he came. I think his regionals or wherever he was fighting Russians at some point. You know what I'm saying? So he was fighting real real good fucking grapplers and such. He's a BJJ black belt. He's good on the ground. He also has good ground and pound. He's pounding his head, like I said, and he has good wrist control. I always like that wrist control. Good fight IQ, in my opinion. He knows how to fight. He knows how to go against their styles and use their styles. He's either going to be grapple heavy or he's going to come out punch heavy. Here's how I think this fight goes. So I think the fight finishes probably in the first round. Because here's how this could go. Because if I know that Jailton Almeida comes in and he throws that 1 or 2 snap kick and then immediately is going for a fucking takedown, he's either going to get that takedown, he's going to get, who the fuck is the fight? I lost my train of thought. Frozen strike to the ground. And not long after that, there's going to be a finish on the Almeida side. Or Almeida gets caught coming in, but I don't see that fucking happen. So I'm exactly with you. I'm on Almeida, probably round 1, Almeida and the other 1.5, and just play it up like that a little bit and see what I can do to make some kind of money on this fight. But I'm definitely on the Almeida side for sure.
Yeah, so am I. I just don't. I really don't see Rosenstrike winning this. He's confident in himself on Twitter. The one time we've seen Almeida get finished, it was in the first round, and he couldn't get a takedown, and that was at 205. So, but that was also 6 years ago. But I don't know if he can't get it here. Rosenstrike has to just fucking unleash hell on him quick. I mean, because every minute that he doesn't decide to strike with him, he's at risk of getting taken down. But could we see a Derek Lewis knockout like Curtis Blades?
That's it.
Could happen. Jalton shoots because he does shoot. He does do a crazy jump when he shoots. If Rosenstrike perfectly times an uppercut, I mean, it might not wake up. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You can see it. You can see when he's going to do it. He's going to throw that snap kick, 1 or 2 at you, and then that's when he's coming in. So I mean, if I can see that, why can't his coaches see that? So like I said, I mean, I think this fight ends in the first round, and I'm just going to play that violence ladder up, as until I start losing, a little bit of money on it or whatever. So yeah, I'm good with it.
Oh yeah. Well, Mushroom, thank you for being my first guest ever on my channel. Where can everyone find you?
Sure. So I am Mushroom_Philly on Twitter, and I have my own YouTube channel called Mushroom MMA. You guys can go to it, give me a like, subscribe, check it out. I do a show every Thursday night live. My first guest that I've ever had was Brandon here. I haven't had a guest since. So far, no guest has topped him, and no guest has topped me. But I think we're going to work on that and we're going to make things happen. So look, I really appreciate it. I was just at UFC 288 with some man. We ran into TB out there. We seen Guru. We seen Mike out there. Yeah, so we ran into some people out there. It was awesome. Next time I go, I'm going to do that fan experience type shit when I go there next time. With fighters and all that. So yeah, I'm immersed in it now. If it comes to Philly, maybe I'll give me a ticket and I'll give you an invite. How's that, man?
Oh yeah, sounds great, man. UFC 290 Boston. I'm there, man. Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I dropped my full card breakdown yesterday. You guys can find me on Twitter at MMA_Propaholic. Also have a Discord link as well that I'll be dropping in my description. I'll be dropping my Twitter link as well, my Bet MMA Tips account, where all my track bets are with my whole entire track bet record for the past 10 months. And thank you guys for tuning in for my first ever guest. Next week, I'm going to have Paul Dow, who's on Twitter as well. I feel terrible for giving Paul such a pretty shitty card, but he's a trooper. He's going to be here next week, and he already told me he's starting tape, so he's a real trooper. So hell yeah, Mushroom, thank you for joining my channel, and everyone, let's make some fucking money, and peace out, everyone. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone in the chat. Have a great night. Thanks.